Good morning, Malacañang Press Corps. Welcome sa Mindanao Hour, Bangon Marawi. We have Assistant Spokesperson China Hoxon with Major General Restituto Padilla, AFP spokesperson. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Rocky. Good morning, Malacañang Press Corps. I'm here to read the statements. First is from the Office of the Civil Defense. Task Force Bangon Marawi continuously provides interventions to aid the internally displaced persons in Marawi City and other affected localities. This week, the Department of Trade and Industry, led by USEC Zeni Maglaya, handed over 5 sewing machines and 20 starter kits to the Provincial Technology and Livelihood Development Center to be delivered to the IDP sewers in Santa Elena, Iligan City for garments production. 4 sewing machines and 40 starter kits were also given to the Al Abrar Jama Guidance and Development Foundation Incorporated, intended for the IDPs in Villa Angela, Barangay Balulang, Cagayan de Oro. The beneficiaries of these kits are those who graduated from the Garments Training Co-Production Program of the DTI. The task force shall convene for its 4th all-agency meeting today at the National Emergency Operations Center in Iligan City. The meeting will focus on the updates of each subcommittee as well as discuss the issues and concerns on the rehabilitation and recovery efforts for the IDPs in Marawi City and other affected localities. Next is the Marawi update. Today, October 6th, it's the day 137. The data as of October 5, 2017. Enemies killed 753, no change. Civilians killed 47. Civilians rescued 1,750. Firearms recovered 805, no change. Unexploded ordnance recovered 46. Improvised explosive device IED recovered 14. Killed in action 155. Buildings cleared 6. October 4 it was 14. Cash donation as of 2:50 p.m. October 5, 2017. Here is the status of cash donations. For the Marawi AFP casualty, we have 102,072,332 pesos and 78 cents. And for the Marawi internally displaced persons, or the IDPs, we have 136,595 pesos. Now, a statement from Presidential Spokesperson Abella on rogue policemen seeking church sanctuary. We welcome the efforts of the church to help these rogue cops to mend their ways. However, we hope the church exercises due diligence as there are drug protectors, kidnappers, kotong and ninja cops who want to destroy the ongoing campaign against illegal drugs. Furthermore, we urge a certain objectivity to avoid being used by said aberrations. I will now turn you over to Spokesperson General Padilla. Sir?
Thank you very much, Gina. On our part from the Armed Forces, I'd just like to provide you an update of the update that was provided a while ago. There was a latest information passed on to us that the remaining areas that continue to be the problematic area where the main battle areas or the meeting engagements that we have with the enemy continues to be at about 7 to 8 hectares in the area of Marawi. And this area is where most of the encounters with the enemy is occurring. And recently, as reported, there were about 155 already killed on our part. And I'd like to add one more to that. Early this morning, we had an incident when we were operating in an area and incurred another casualty through a sniper fire. And it's a sad development because we were expecting that as we engage more in these remaining areas and have better control of the peripheral areas in and out of this area, we'd be able to minimize that. But unfortunately, we still face a very tenacious enemy who is determined to defend their area. As you have all heard, there were 17 hostages that were recently rescued. 9 men and 8 women. And there were conflicting reports that came out that said that there were also some surrenderies from inside. I'd like to correct that. This might have been a mixed up between the hostages that were rescued, and they may have been alluding to the 9 men. So the fact there is all of them were hostages who came out of the battle area. 9 men and 8 women. And based on the debriefing that was conducted of all these individuals, we gathered, based on their information passed on to us, that there remain still about 40 hostages in the area, along with about 40 to 50 armed members of the terrorist group. So this is something that is a good revelation on the part of the hostages that came out and were rescued. And this becomes a very important factor in the final planning stages that we are in, the final planning for the final push we're doing for the remaining areas held by the terrorists. So we wish to convey to the public, nais po namin iparating sa lahat, na yun po ang rason kaya maingat nating isinasagawa ang mga operasyon natin dito sa lugar ng Marawi, dahil sa aming paninindigan at kagustuhan na makuha pa ang mga naiiwang mga hostages na nasa kamay ng kalaban. Kung hindi po natin pinag-ingatan ito, hindi po sana naging posible na makuha dyan si Father Chito Suganob, ang isang kasamahan niya sa simbahan, at yung mga 17 iba pang na-rescue nitong nakaraang mga araw. So ngayon po na nakuha na natin mismo sa mga nanggaling sa loob na may nananatili pang 40 na kinakailangan pang makuha, lubos po namin pinag-iingatan na magawa natin ito sa pinakamadaling panahon nang hindi nagbubuwis unnecessarily ng iba pang buhay ng ating sundalo at ganun din ang mga hostages na nandyan pa sa loob. So this will be the subject of our operations in the next few days. And this is the reason also why we have not given out. Ito po ang nagiging rason kaya hindi kami nagbabanggit ng takdang araw, takdang petsa o panahon kung kailan magtatapos ang ating bakbakan dyan sa loob ng Marawi. Pero sinisikap po natin gawin yan sa pinakamadaling panahon. Karagdagan dito, we have also been working closely with all agencies of government who have been tasked to set the stage for the recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction of Marawi. And our main focus this time is to complete the development and preparation of all the temporary living areas and quarters that have been started in the safe areas of Marawi. And this includes individual houses made of different materials that can be used as temporary shelters for our evacuees. Ang ginawa po dito ng ating Joint Task Force Marawi at saka ng NHA sa ilalim ni Yusek Del Rosario ay patuloy na nakikipagkonsultasyon po sa lokal na pamahalaan, at batay po sa nakuha nating datos kamakailan, madami na po nagsisignify na mag-avail nitong mga temporary shelters na ito. And we still need to build more based on this increasing number of evacuees who have signified to avail of that. So we pass on our thanks to the local government for that very cooperative effort, and we will work closely with them along with all the engineers that we have detailed under Joint Task Force Ranao. On another matter, the aspect of the implementation of martial law is still being carried out by all our units in the entirety of Mindanao, particularly in the Western Mindanao Command area, where we continue to watch closely developments in the areas of the 6th Infantry Division. Ito po yung lugar ng Maguindanao, Cotabato, area at Lanao, parts ng Lanao na kung saan patuloy nating namomonitor ang galaw ng mga grupo na nagpahiwatig ng kanilang pagsama dito sa grupong nasa Marawi. At ilo po ay mga elemento ng BIFF. So patuloy po nating babantayan yan at imo-monitor nang sa ganon lubos nating makontrol ang galaw ng mga masamang elemento na to. Ganon din po sa lugar ng Basilan, Hulo, and Tawi-Tawi areas which continue to harbor elements of the ASG. And significantly, in the past few days, there were also incidents of attempted abductions and a few, I think one incident of successful abduction of locals, which we would like to prevent. Ganon din po, patuloy nating minomonitor sa pamamagitan ng mga ginagawa nating checkpoints sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Mindanao ang patuloy na paggalaw ng mga armadong elemento. Kasama po dito, nais ko rin pong ipabatid sa lahat ang matagumpay na ginawang pagkumpiska sa mga illegal firearms na nasa isang lugar dyan sa may lugar ng Lanao na pinasok po ng ating mga tropa at sa kooperasyon ng ating local government dyan, nakumbinsin nila itong mga pamilya at individual na naghahawak ng mga hindi po lisensyadong mga baril na isurrender ito. Kaya that was about 2 days ago, we got about more than 100 firearms. And this is a telling and significant development because sa martial law po, kinakailangan nating mapatupad na makuha lahat ng mga illegal and loose firearms na hawak ng mga pribadong citizens natin at ng iba pang mga armed groups. The more firearms we confiscate, the lesser firearms that are loosed around that may be used for illegal activities. Sa Eastern Mindanao Command Area naman po, yung pagpatupad po ng martial law dyan ay nakatuon ng pansin sa mga armadong grupo na patuloy na nangingikil at nanununog ng mga kagamitang ginagamit sa infrastruktura. And we will not let up. May I also make mention here that there are some groups that are saying they would be filing cases against the armed forces or the Philippine Army because of the offensives that were conducted in Marawi. Again, these groups that we have been watching closely have exhibited indications that since the very beginning of the Marawi crisis, they may have been partial to the terrorists or the rebels in the area. And we're conducting our thorough research on these people because it may be possible that they have been part or accessory to the rebellion. And if we do find out and find good evidence stating and proving this, we will initiate the necessary legal actions to make them answerable for their crimes. Again, the state has the right to defend itself, and the offensives carried out in Marawi were in pursuit of that because we would like to bring back the rule of law and order in the area. Yun lang po ang aking maipapaabot sa martial law sa Mindanao at sa ating opensiba dyan sa may Marawi. At bago po ako magbigay ng daan sa katanungan nyo, pinapapaabot po lang po ng buong liderato ng Armed Forces, ganun din po ang buong hanay ng ating hukbong sandatahan, ang pasasalamat sa ating mahal na Pangulo sa mga anunsyo niya kahapon tungkol po sa pagtaas ng sahod ng ating mga sundalo. Ito po isang bagay na talaga pong pinalakpakan at pinakahihintay ng iba nating mga kasundaluhan dahil malaki po ang tulong na maibibigay nito. Yun lang po. At kung ito i-link natin sa mga usapang destabilisasyon, yung usapan na yan na naririnig natin, hindi ho manggagaling sa hanay ng armed forces yan. Because we know that we have a commander-in-chief who has malasakit for every soldier and is doing his end of the bargain of taking care of every uniformed man who are doing their job. So this is all from our end, and with this, I'd like to give back the floor to you for any questions you may have.
Okay, question on Bangon Marawi first. Bangon Marawi. No more? Tuesday nyo. Joseph, pabot ng microphone please. Thank you.
Sir, kahapon po doon sa anniversary ng change of command
Change of
ceremony sa Philippine Army. Nasabi po ni Philippine Army Chief Major General Bautista na hindi na daw po aabot ng ASEAN sa November yung gulo dyan sa Marawi. So, by now ay October 6. So, ito bang October na to, sir, na umaasa tayo na makiklear na ng husto yung Marawi at mapapasok na nung mga gumagawa ng mga post-assessment para masimulan na po yung rehabilitation?
Tuesday, maraming salamat sa katanungan mo. Ang rehabilitasyon po ay nagsisimula na. Actually, hindi na natin kailangan sabihin na kailan ito magsisimula dahil nagbabakbakan pa sa loob ng Marawi, nagsimula na ito sa pamamagitan ng consultation at ground preparation ng mga temporary areas na titirhan ng ating mga kababayan sa loob ng Marawi. Ngayon, yung anunsyo po ni General Bautista, ang bagong hepe ng Philippine Army, ay totoo. Ine-expect namin na hindi na po ito tatagal at aabot pa dun sa pagdaraos ng ating hosting ng ASEAN. And hindi lang po kami talaga nagbibigay ng eksaktong petsa o ng eksaktong araw kung kailan po natin masasabing ganap na tapos na ang bakbakan dyan sa Marawi. Dahil kung matapos man namin ito at makuha lahat ng armadong grupo at sa awa ng Diyos makuha lahat ng ating mga sinasabing naiiwan pang hostages dyan, patuloy pa rin po nating i-clear. Kasi may natitira pa pong humigit kumulang 200 buildings at facilities na hindi pa po natin lubos na napapasok at nakiklear ng mga unexploded ordnance at saka IED. Yun po yung magiging challenge na may iwan pagka nagtigil putukan na po tayo.
Ibig sabihin, sir, pwede na siyang i-declare, hopefully by this month, na okay na siya sa Marawi, pero hindi agad ipupull out yung ating mga military forces doon because of the continuing mapping up operations?
When you say mapping up po, ibig sabihin may kalaban pa sa loob. So, clearing po ang ating gagawin para ganap nating may turn over sa local na pamahalaan at saka sa police yung lugar ng commercial business district na sigurado tayong walang sino man na pagpasok ay masasaktan dahil sa mga IED at iba pang mga patibok na maaaring maiwan. So, the declaration for the end of hostilities will come as soon as the last terrorist element or rebel in the area who is offering resistance has been dealt with. Until such time na nagawa natin yon, hindi pa po tayo magkakaroon ng deklarasyon. Pero tulad nga po na nabanggit nyo, na nasabi ni General Bautista, ine-expect namin na hindi na yon ganun katagal mangyayari.
Last na lang, sir, on my part. Nabanggit din niya po na hindi niya nakikita sa ngayon na ililift yung martial law dahil kailangan pa raw po yun sa rehabilitation part ng Marawi. So, do we expect na ma-extend po yung martial law? Kasi ang effectivity nito, if I am correct, sir, ay December 31 of this year.
Tuesday, maaring ang ibig niya alam ko na ibig niya sabihin doon ay hindi ito ang martial law sa Mindanao ay hindi magtatapos sa pagtatapos ng bakbakan sa Marawi. Kasi meron pa tayo hanggang katapusan ng taon upang ganap na magawa ang ating kailangan gawin para ganap na masabi na itong mga pagtatangkang rebellion na ito ay hindi na mangyayari muli. After the last fire or the last shot has been fired in Marawi, we expect to clear other areas as well, which means to say that there are other threats in the island that we need to address. Because any threat coming from any part of Mindanao comprises or still affects the security of the whole island.
Okay, thank you, sir.
About Bangon, Ina Andolong. Other issue or Bangon?
Related. Sir, can you be more specific about the actions that may be taken against the groups
Certain
you mentioned
elements.
earlier who are considering filing cases daw po against AFP? I mean, if you prove that they do have something to do with the siege.
Yes. The reason I mentioned that is because of statements that have been recently said and threats to file cases against the armed forces. And I just like to inform, we would just like to inform the public that these groups have been from the very beginning observed as being partial to the side of the rebels. And this is indicative of deeper and much more thorough information that we are now looking for that may, in all probability, link these groups to the destabilization occurring in the area.
I mean, will they be arrested right away once you gather enough
When
evidence?
sufficient evidence has been gathered and there will be no doubt left that they have been part of it, of course, there will be warrants of arrest issued and there will be arrest made.
Okay. Sir, dun sa monitored threats in other parts of Mindanao, has the AFP already identified specific cities or areas that terrorists may be looking at to possibly again try to take over like what they did in Marawi? Because General Bautista yesterday talked about that also.
We have not identified any specific major city that may be targeted, but this early, so far, the most threatened areas are in the areas of Maguindanao and Cotabato, because there remains in those areas sizable numbers of armed men who have pledged allegiance to the group who are in Marawi.
Are you confident, sir, na wala pong effort ngayon to build up on arms? Because in Marawi, di po ba yun yung medyo naging problema? They were able to stock up on weapons that it would seem na hindi napigilan ng AFP noon.
Ina, yung sa tanong na yan, may mga lessons learned na po tayo. Madami na tayong natutunan dito sa nangyari sa Marawi. Kaya sa ating pagmamonitor, kasama na ho at kabahagi, yung ating pagkalap ng impormasyon sa mga lugar na maaring nag-iimbak ng kagamitan, ng baril, ng armas. Kaya kasama na at kabahagi na yan dun sa ating ginagawang pagmamasid ngayon. So, in order to prevent any incident similar to the Marawi incident, the critical information that we are closely looking for and continuously seeking are those related to the question you mentioned.
Thank you, Ina. Roscos?
Hi sir, good morning po.
Yes, please.
Ang Iligan City Police po ay nagbanggit na may natatanggap po silang information na may mga sympathizers po ng Mountain na nagre-recruit sa Iligan. Nakatanggap din po kayo ng gantong information, and how do we deal with this kind of information po?
Sa panig namin sa headquarters, hindi pa nakakarating sa amin yan. Pero noon pa man, meron ng mga lumabas na mga impormasyon na nagsasabi na patuloy pa rin yung kanilang recruitment. Kaya nga po, itong pagkakaroon ng martial law ay nagiging mainam dahil nagagawa natin na kunin yung mga tao o arestuhin ang mga tao na maaring pinaghihinalaan nating may ginagawang hindi ka nais-nais, and then detaining them and questioning them. So this has happened in several instances, but if we don't find grounds to continue detaining them and could not file any case against them for lack of evidence, they are released. But the monitoring goes on.
Okay, thank you. Question on Bangon Marawi, other issue. No more sa Bangon Marawi, Ros Novenario.
Ay, good morning, sir. Sir, balikan ko lang po yung groups na posibleng involved dun sa destabilization dun sa area. Sir, are they human rights groups?
I cannot be specific at this time because the investigation is still ongoing, and the collection of information pertaining to these groups is also ongoing. So, mas mabuti po na hindi muna ibanggit.
Yung pong martial law sa Mindanao, sabi po kasi dati ni Presidente nitong past few days, after daw po ng Marawi crisis, pagtutuunan ng pansin yung NPA. So, yung po bang grupong binabanggit nyo na involved dun sa distab sa Marawi, ay posibleng may kaugnayan din po rito sa mga rebelding NPA po?
Kung sakaling lalabas na gano'n at may kaugnayan sila, magiging tama ka. Pero tulad na nabanggit ko, hindi pa kasi ganap na natatapos itong sasaliksik namin sa nagiging ugnayan itong mga nasabi nating possible groups na tumutulong dyan. So, I'll leave it at that at the moment, and it's hard to elaborate because it may undermine what we are doing.
Okay. Thank you, Rose. Laila Salaveria, other issue.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Laila.
Sir, according to the President, the Reds and the Yellows are conspiring against him. Have you seen any indication of these kinds of movements?
The President has access to more information that we do because most of our agencies submit to the President information, and we submit to him as well what only comes from our part. So we do continue to monitor the security landscape, and that includes other areas not only in Mindanao but the entirety of the archipelago. So far, kung ang ibig sabihin ng ating mahal na Pangulo ay yung pagpaplano, mayroon po kaming nakikita na iba. At hindi lang naman po yung oposisyon ng ano dito, kaya ang binabantayan po talaga ng armed forces ay yung mga armadong grupo. Yung sa side ng politics, may iba pong nagmo-monitor at sa amin pong side hindi po namin nakukuha ito kadalasan.
Sir, so yung nabanggit niyo pong pagpaplano, who are you referring to? Just the Reds? Or?
Yes, most of them are Reds and the armed elements in Mindanao.
But as to the involvement of the Yellows, wala pa po.
There may be, but I am not privy to this information yet.
Okay, thank you.
Follow-up, Joseph Morong.
How can you say maybe na involved yung Yellows?
Because the groups that are against government are not only individuals, kasi kaya nga groups, madami yan, and it may not be far-fetched that one or two of them may be also assisting other groups that are against government. So this kind of connection may be part of those that are being reported as what Laila has said.
Sir, you said may pagpaplano Reds and other armed elements in Mindanao, no? Tama ba?
Ang NPA po ay patuloy naming minomonitor kasi kadalasan ang kanila pong ginagawa na activities sa kanayunan at lalo na dyan sa Mindanao ay laging nakalink sa kanilang extortion activities. So, at itong extortion activities, kung hindi natin nababantayan at hindi makokontrol, ang nagiging end product nito ay panununog ng kagamitan. Primarily, the burning of construction equipment and farm implements that actually affect the livelihood of marginal members of the marginal farmers or marginal members of a agricultural group. So if that happens, the most affected are the poor, which we do not want to happen. That's why we take pains to work closely with big companies who are in agriculture. We take pains to work with construction companies to secure them if they have any threats. Pagka nakakasunog po ng mga traktora o mga bagay na ginagamit sa construction ng mga daan, napapabagal yung pag-access natin sa mga interior areas dahil sa mga roads na ito ay farm-to-market roads karamihan. So pag naantala yon, yung naapektuhan ng mga tao dyan, yung nangangailangan. So hindi natin gusto mangyari yan. We want that all these projects will be finished so that those who need it most will benefit from it.
Yeah, those actions, they've been doing that for the last 60 years, sir. But with the end goal of ousting the president, would you say that that is the goal, that monitor nyo na action na sinasabi nyo na may pagpaplano? The objective is to oust the president?
The objective of the NPA is actually to take hold of the whole Philippines.
Yes.
And government, if that's what you mean. So that is why always they are coming from a very hard bargaining position. So it may be related to that.
Sir, kanina you mentioned na hindi manggagaling sa AFP yung any destabilization plot, no? Does that mean, sir, that you will not join any groups that will want to destabilize the government?
Yes. The armed forces, as you have seen in this past few years and recent months, has exhibited its very constitutionally based activities or actions. Mapagkakatiwalaan niyo po ang inyong armed forces na gagawin natin ang nararapat lamang. At ito yung nakalagay na mandato na dapat naming gampanan sa ating constitution.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, last question. Lanesca then Rose.
Morning po. Anybody could answer. May I be clarified lang po because of the statement on the church leaders providing assistance or refuge to rogue cops. Is the palace considering this move of the church, or is the military considering this move as a destabilization plot? Because Solicitor General Calida said, I think yesterday, that the church is also involved in possible destabilization plots.
Well, as far as government is concerned regarding this pronouncement or the statement that was read a while ago, we take it that we would like to forward the church to just be discerning. Which means to say that it could be possible that not all those who seek the help of the church, saying they are seeking help because they want to mend their ways, may not be who they say they are. O baka ginagamit lang ang church para makatakas sila ng gusto at makabalik sa mga dati nilang ginagawa. So essentially, I think the statement is what it means. So we just want to inform the church that we do welcome the efforts of the church as part of the community to assist, but be discerning in the process so that we may be able to get the real individuals who really are sincerely on the way to mending their ways and not those who are merely using that as a scapegoat.
Sir, as it is the church discerning enough? You don't think the church is being discerning enough?
Well, of course, the church will be very careful about it. They have their own principles to follow. But as you have also seen, hindi naman lahat po ng pare o men in robe ay nakakasunod sa kanilang mga vows religiously. Take the case nung nangyari sa Marikina na meron, tao rin po sila na mayroong pagkakataon na pag na-tempt ay nagkakamali. So that is the aspect I think that we want to avoid.
Okay, Rose Novenaria.
Hi, good morning, Elise. Sir, ano po yung assessment ng AFP dun sa Citizens National Guard na binuo po at parang suportado po nila Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre at PAO Chief Persida Acosta? At ini-encourage po ba ng AFP ang publiko na magbuo ng similar groups to thwart any destabilization efforts against the government?
Siyempre, ang armed forces po maliwanag against kami sa creation ng private armed groups. Kasi dyan nagsisimula ang kaguluhan na ngayon ay maaaring sabihin nila na ganito ang kanilang pakay, pero later on ay mawawalay sila sa kanilang sinasabing gagawin. Armed forces po maliwanag dyan at kung mayroong nagugustong mag-create ng mga grupo, there is always a legal way to do it. And we encourage those who are interested to help government to do it the right way, the legal way.
So wala pong accreditation yung AFP sa mga ganitong uri ng grupo?
So far wala po at I don't have the full background of the group you mentioned. Wala po sa akin ngayon yung impormasyon na yan. Pero ang atin pong maliwanag na posisyon sa mga bagay na ito is idaan sa tamang proseso. And if there are groups wanting to assist government, it can be done in many ways, not through the armed way. Kasi doon nagkakaroon ng problema. Pagka ang isang grupo ay nagnanais tumulong, pwede naman kayo mag-organisa. Karapatan po ng bawat individual at mamamayan na mag-organisa upang makatulong sa bayan, makatulong sa ating organisasyon. At very much welcome yan. How? They may start forming their groups, mag-grupo-grupo sila, at yung kanilang network ng grupo na yan ay maaring nagbibigay ng maayos na impormasyon, nagtuturo na may kaguluhan dito o may mga taong masasamang loob na nandito sa lugar na yan, na nagiging kabahagi na ng ating sinasabi dati na yung shared responsibility sa security. Pero information-based lang, hindi sa armadong paraan. Kung gusto nyong mag-armas, hindi na po tama. Kasi nakasaad po sa ating konstitusyon na isa lang po dapat ang armadong grupo sa buong bansa. Ito lang yung sundalo at kapulisan.
Thank you.
Okay, last question, Lanesca.
Follow up lang po din sa Citizens National Guard. Kasi sir, this group named enemies of the state. Ang sinait nila ISIS-inspired terrorism, CPP, NPA, drug cartel, seditious political opposition, yellow tards, foreign intelligence agencies generating international support for regime change. I mean, is this group competent to identify enemies of the state, or the military is the only one, the military institution is the only one competent to identify which are the enemies of the state po?
Again, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi ko hawak lahat ng datos sa grupo na to. So, hindi ko pa nababasa, hindi ko pa rin nakukuha yung talagang background at pinagsimula ng grupong to. Pero ang nabanggit mo na kami lang ba ang competent na magsabi kung sino ang kalaban ng gobyerno, kalaban ng bansa? Hindi po. In the protection of our national interests, there are many agencies that are involved in doing that. And the armed forces is only part of that apparatus. So, what are other organizations that are in charge of doing that? Our Department of Foreign Affairs is out there, deployed in many different areas, also to do just that, to protect the national interests. And they do this by going through their diplomatic routines, engaging our host nations, and maintaining a good relationship with them. At the same time, keeping watch and observing if there are trends that will be inimical to our national interests. So, hindi lang po sundalo yun. May iba-ibang ahensya po na nagsasagawa ng ganong klaseng responsibilidad.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Major
Thank you, sir.
General
Yeah, thank you.
Restituto Padilla. Thank you, Assistant Spokesperson China Hoxon. Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps, back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television.